Well, folks, this is Miguel from Embargo Man. So, what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna review a watch. So, what's happening to me? Well, so okay, what's going on in there? It was like one of my um one of my roommates, or I'm saying that what it is such a problem that I was missing a watch, right? I had a phony Rolex, and I have an Invicta Pro Diver with a blue. In other words, what's going on is that a roommate of mine. Well, he was a barber, right? So live with my parents and stuff, right? So he was like selling stolen stuff, stolen iPhones and whatever not, right? He says he knows how to cut hair, but he got fired because he's stealing other people's stuff, right? So he's stealing other people's stuff and stuff. So he stole a fake Rolex and an Invicta Pro Diver, right? So ain't in the cases, but I could tell you how it is about this. These Invicta Pro Divers are nothing more than a replica, a legally knockoff or something they look like a Rolex Submariner, but they're not. The only thing is that these watches are pretty good. They're pretty affordable. They're under $200 or wherever you buy it. You buy it at one of them Invicta stores, or you can buy it for like a little bit less for that money in Amazon probably, and they came up pretty good watches, right? So this is an affordable watch that anybody could buy, right? Anybody in a budget could buy, right? So what it is that you have these watches, or so what it is that they look like a Rolex watch, and it's not a real Rolex watch. It's just an imitation. It's just some of an inspired watch from out of a Rolex Submariner, as they say. So I could tell you what's the deal with Rolex watches to be sold online. I have one of those, but it was given to me by my stepdad. It's a fake Rolex watch, like in New York City or somewhere in the Bronx, that they sell it for $50, $100, like the most. How you gonna pay? But if you wanna buy a Rolex watch online, what's going to happen with these Rolex watches? I could tell you what. The seller is from Nigeria. Your watch comes from China. Well, yes, the seller is from Nigeria. The seller of the Rolex watch is from Nigeria. The Rolex watch comes from China. You pay 10 grand online for an original Submariner. You think you're getting the real thing. You're just paying $10,000 for a Chinese knockoff Rolex watch. You're paying $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, or $40,000 for a Rolex replica, and you're not getting the real thing online. The best solution to buy a Rolex online is to buy it at the actual Rolex store. One of the Rolex stores at the mall or a brick and mortar where there's an authorized Rolex store. So that's where you go to get a Rolex watch, and you're getting the real thing. You're not getting ripped off by a fake Rolex watch, right? Why? Because the one they sell in the store, they came directly from Switzerland, and there are authorized Rolex dealers, and you're getting the real deal. You're paying 10 grand, 30 grand, or 40 grand for the real thing. Or if you want to buy a Rolex online, well, It's better off. Those Rolex that they sell online, they sell it across the street in the Bronx or in Brooklyn for $100, $200, or yeah, $100, 50, or for $100 max, right? You're not gonna pay a lot for the Rolex watch that you buy online, and you're saving a lot of money, because when what they sell online is the same Rolex watches that they sell some douchebag across the street in New York City or in the Bronx or in Chinatown, that they sell it for $50 or $100 or $150, right? That's the ones that you buy on the internet. They sell it across the street in New York City, in the Bronx or in Chinatown for less than $100, $50, right? The same watch that you get online, you get it for $50. I mean, the same Rolex watch that you get online, you get it for $50 across the street in New York City, right? Because you're buying the fake thing. You're buying the fake thing, and then like you buy like. In other words, if you are in a budget and you don't want to get it, so let me tell you what. Let me tell you about the fake Rolex watches. I know that or anything fake, it is illegal. It is illegal to buy a fake product, and it's better off to get an authentic product. You know, you want to pay 10 grand. Oh, look at this Rolex Submariner, 20 grand. Oh shoot, I'm gonna pay 20 grand, and you don't have the money, right? Instead of buying the ones that they sell online, that they sell for the price of the original. You know, the ones that they sell online is like the replicas they sell across the street in the Bronx or something, and you wanna get something authentic. I always tell you what, you get an Invicta Pro Diver. Even though I'm wearing a Mickey Mouse watch, I went to Invicta store in Aventura Mall, and yeah, Mickey Mouse watch. So I got that one for free. So this is the watch I'm telling you about, right? An Invicta Pro Diver, right? This is it. These watches, for example, I mean, people have a lot of, love and hate for relationships. I'm not saying of products that rock or products that suck. People just going to say, I'm not going to say it in between the lines. I'm going to say this is a really good product, even though this brand started in Switzerland. I mean, the one that that I got stolen or that I lost was built in Japan, right? It was made in Japan with a Seiko movement, and then this one is assembled in Malaysia, and this one you don't need a battery, right? So what it is, the one it is, my dad gave it to me. I got this one at the Invicta store in Aventura Mall, and this one says water resistant. It says the serial number. It says it is 200 meter, and as the model number says alright, it says 200 meters, and it says alright, okay, well, whatever it is, I know sometimes, alright, it is right there. It says, I'm gonna see the light, 89 to, yes, alright, is 8920B. Alright, so this is the model that it says. $89,280B, right? $89,280B is this model number of this one, and this one, compared to the one that is made in Japan, this one's assembled in Malaysia with Japanese quartz, because I mean this used like a Seiko Instead of read some ridiculous. N35 movement, a Seiko N35 movement. There are some of these that they use ETA movement, and ETA is a Swiss movement, and 35N is the Seiko movement. So it's a good watch. So I mean the older ones, and then like it started with the ETA. Then the newer ones, Japan movement, the Seiko movement, until they just assembled them in Malaysia. All right. And whatever it is a good watch. This is a good watch. Why so? What it is with this company, right? So people love to hate it that it is just like Apple. Apple have Foxconn to contract to make their products. That means that at Apple, Foxconn, they have the camera sensors made by Sony. One of the other main components are made in the Netherlands, and then they just put it all together in Foxconn in China, and then they're like, and it's mixed from parts from all over the world. Like this, the same like this, that you can have this watch, right? So by the time you're watching the video, I mean they do the same thing. They contract a third party company. It is no longer based in Switzerland because of the quartz revolution and stuff by Timex and the Japanese competitors at the time. So what happened with that company? They reinvent themselves. They know that the product. I mean, I think it was Lalo's the CEO now. They reinvent the company. They brought back the Invicta brand, so they have a third party company to make these watches, right? So that means that some of them have Japan movement, some of them have Swiss movement, some of them it says Swiss made, but the third party contractor would be made by another company, sometimes Seiko, and probably some of them are Timex, and then like they just go to the Philippines. I mean, they brought the Swiss parts and put them together. So the ones that are less as Swiss movement and everything, they just probably ETA makes the movement. They just put the Invicta name, and they put the final assembly in the Philippines, and they sell it to you at the stores or online and whatever, or in Malaysia, like they put Japanese components, Seiko movement or whatever, and they sell it to you at the store. And that's what the Invicta brand company does. They have third-party companies, even though they have Glycin is another Swiss brand that Invicta acquired. So I mean, they're good watches. I'm not telling you, this is a pretty good watch for the money. All right, you can't go wrong with that. This is more like it does replicate a Rolex, but instead of Rolex it says Invicta. So it is a watch for under $200 that you could get a great deal with it. You get a nice looking watch and says okay, and then just people think, oh shoot, man, is this a Rolex watch? It's not a Rolex. It's an Invicta, right? It is an Invicta, right? Because it is what it is. So this Invicta Pro Diver Mariner, the model is if you look at the watch, right? So it is the it is the 8920B, the 8920B, the 892OB. All right, so this is the 8920B. It's an Invicta. It could come. This one's assembled in Malaysia with Japanese mechanical movement, the automatic one. Just get the automatic one. You save money on battery. And it's a good looking watch for the price. And what you get is more bang for your buck. It works the same as a Rolex watch, but for less money. And then either way, but probably they some of these the older ones are totally were built in Switzerland. Then the new ones were assembled in Malaysia with Japanese movements, and probably they might probably decide, Timex could buy out the watch, and could buy out the company, and they just put Swiss movement, ETA, and then they put a final assembly in the Philippines. Well, from now on, these are assembled in Malaysia, and that's what you get for the money. So $200 watch, and then you get a free watch at the Invicta store. Like you could get this Mickey Mouse watch, like I did, or a DC, or another one. So I would ask you that because I could tell you what, it is illegal to get a fake Rolex watch, even if you pay 20, 30, 40, or 50 grand for a fake Rolex watch that someone, perhaps somebody in Nairobi, is selling you a fake Rolex watch for 10 grand, or in somewhere around Lagos, and somebody in Lagos selling a fake Rolex watch for 10 grand or 30 grand, or that somebody sell a fake Rolex watch in New York City for like for $50, $150 in New York City, across the street in Chinatown or in the Bronx. Some douchebag somewhere, $150 Rolex watch, get it. Either way, it's not legal, because it is when they have the counterfeits or fakes. But if you want to do it, just go ahead, make my day. Or you just plain stupid, you got ripped off online by some another African scam. They selling you a Chinese Rolex watch for 10 grand. That's the little original product, whatever. Or you could be smart and you could save money. Instead of buying the illegal Rolex knockoff, you could get this Invicta for the same price, for like $200. You pay $50 or $100 more for this watch. You buying something legal. You buying something legit, of course, because you're not paying too much for a Rolex watch. You get more bang for your buck for this watch. And I recommend this watch because even though I do have Timex, I do have Casio at the time, whatever it is, I have ESQ from Movado. That brand is killed. I mean, whatever you do, if you want to buy a watch and you're thinking, oh my God, I don't have any money for a Rolex watch, but I want to get a Submariner. Just get this for $150 or $200 or more, or for $200, and you get a really good watch, more bang for your buck. You're saving money. So people fool, oh, this is a Rolex watch? No, and they just say the Invicta brand. Like in there it says Invicta, and they notice, oh my God, it's a pretty good watch, but it's a more bang for your buck, right? A watch, it is what it is. This is more like telling you like you're buying a Buick or something like that, or you're not buying a Canon, you're not buying a Rolls Royce. I mean, Rolex is like the Rolls Royce of watches that they say, but this is like you get I'm getting a Buick or something like that, or whatever, affordable watch. But and that's what I tell you what. So I mean, that's a good product review that I said. Get this watch. You save plenty of money compared to a Rolex, instead of getting away from a replica that they sell for $50 in the streets of New York, or for a 10 grand at that some vendor in a developing country is doing, most likely somewhere in Africa, is selling it online, a fake Rolex watch that they sell in New York for 10 grand. But that's kind of stupid. but you save money. You're getting this, and this is not. This is something legit. This is genuine. This is from a brand that started in Switzerland, and they got good movement. They whatever either a Seiko or an ETA movement, depending where they manufacture now. Because I have the quartz version, but I will tell you what, get the mechanical version. The mechanical version is the one that you need to get. So I will tell you that, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like it or my video or not. Please. I know that you people says, oh, Invicta sucks or whatever. No, doesn't suck. It is a good brand of watch. It's not that I'm saying it sucks. It's a really good watch. It is a kick-ass brand, to put it that way. I didn't say that Rolex is a really good brand, and you're getting more bang for your buck than you get it. It works the same as a Rolex watch, or better. You know, it just works the same as a Rolex watch, but you're saving a bunch of money compared to paying 10 grand for a Rolex Submariner or 20 grand. So goodbye, peace out, and see you in the next channel. And please hit the bell for more notifications in the Embargo Man channel. Goodbye, everybody. Have a nice week.